Welcome to Headset Havoc. I'm one of your hosts, Josh Wilson. Here with me today is Mr. 7600, Brock Hyatt. Brock, how are you
Howdy.
today?
I'm doing. Another day in paradise.
Also here with me is Suko's finest, Corey Holder. Corey, how are you?
Woo woo.
And last but not least, the Dragon, Zach Smith. Smitty, how's your day been?
It's good, other than you using my government name.
Don't
No
start
props.
this shit. Don't start this shit already.
I used everyone's government name, even my own. I feel like it's fair game, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't give out last names.
Yeah,
You
dude.
did.
Yeah,
That's
I did.
true.
I did.
Did
I gave
you?
out everyone's last name.
Oh,
Now
I
in-
just- I
Even
must
my
have zoned
own.
out.
knowledge.
I must have zoned out. My
You
bad.
blacked out. You blacked out.
I'm blacked
I don't
out.
know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So, what have you guys been playing?
Horizon.
I recently just beat that game.
And your takes, Smitty, what have you been playing?
Oh yeah, Horizon for sure.
And what's your y'all's? I know Smitty and Corey, you guys are still playing it. Brock, you've beat it. I've beaten it. What are y'all guys' takes on that game?
There's so much to do.
So far, yeah, Smitty's fairly new to the RPG style. So far, I'm gonna say top 2 or 3
Of all time, or just
of RPG games, and it's really slowly working its way to top 5 of all time.
Oh, it's definitely a top fiver for me, all time. No questions asked.
Yeah, I mean,
From-
I played Skyrim a tad bit, but like they said,
yeah.
it for me, it's probably the greatest. It's the best game I've ever played.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would even be willing to say that as well.
It's top to bottom. I mean, I feel like you say this any game. There's little things you can nitpick about, but overall, from top to bottom, from all the side things you can do and how the story is told, it just brings you in and makes you feel ways about the characters, and you get invested in the story. So I mean, the game is just beautiful all the time.
Yeah, I would hate to rush anything as far as a game that's great, but I'm pretty excited for the end game, to be honest with you.
See about what level are you at right now, Corey?
I think I'm headed into 32, so I'm 31 right now.
Okay, and where are you at, Smitty?
23.
See, you're not too far behind, Corey. Yeah, the latter half of the game, the story wise, like it's so like just enthralling. Just and how it starts to explain everything. You know, how we got here, why is it like this, and it's just.
Questions get answered.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, you hate to like rush a game, but at the same time, you can't wait to find out why
Yes.
it is the way that it is.
Yes.
And it's such a fascinating story. Like the story in that game is just fantastic to me. And I think one of the great things that game does is even with everything that it offers, with all of the side quests and the multitude of things that you can do, the hunting and all of that stuff, it's not like some of these games where I can go off and like get lost in all these side quests and then like, well, where the fuck was I at in the story? Like
Yes.
I come back and it's just like a seamless like experience. And as far as like actual gameplay, the way that the game feels, it's like everything that Assassin's Creed should have ever tried to feel. Like it feels so good, and I don't know how to explain it other than it's like once the controller's in your hand and you're moving around, and it feels so good.
Oh, the platform is second to none.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
when you're able to rappel off of things, it's probably the most rewarding thing I've done in a game that like isn't like getting a trophy or killing something, but just knowing I can hook it and like how they set up just the animation of you just coming down and just throwing it. It's just absolutely. Because I remember the night it launched, me and Josh were playing, and he got to it before I did, and I was like, "What the hell?" Because he was freaking out about it. He goes, "Just wait." He goes, "You're gonna get there." He goes, "Wait till you can repel something." And I remember I waited for like 10 minutes to get there, and when I did, it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I can. I kind of liken it to the first time that I jumped off of a building in Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah,
Your heart
And
jumped for a second. Assassin's
into the
Creed.
hay. Yeah, exactly. Into like the hay bale and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
that was like so awesome. I've done it 1,000 times and it's kind of lost its luster. But that first time rappelling down off of something in Horizon is kind of the same kind of feeling. It's really, really cool. Speaking of like rappelling down, of course, to rappel down, you got to fucking climb. And like I really love the climbing in that game. And it's like something akin to Assassin's Creed where there are numerous times I jump and I fall to my death. Just some stupid jump.
Oh yeah, that's like forgetting to hit square when you're going to rappel.
Exactly. So
Done that.
But like I believe I only accidentally jumped off of something in Horizon twice. And one of them because I had the camera in a funny angle, and the other one just fucking done it. I don't know, but like I didn't really fuck up. It felt so fluid.
If
Yeah, that
Assassin's
game.
Creed ever had climbing half as fluid, I think we'd be talking about Assassin's Creed being some of the greatest games of all time. Because they tell great stories.
And yeah, and in my opinion, they still are.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite series. With a game that we'll be talking about shortly.
I never got into it.
Exactly. It will be talked about before long.
Yes,
Like,
it
Yeah,
will.
there
Should
two
I
or three
feel
of my
like
favorite ones are.
Yeah,
should I feel like ass because I never got into that game or
Yes,
what?
yes, you should.
you
Yes,
should.
you
You
should.
should really hate yourself.
Man, I'm
It's
telling you, I
fantastic.
gave it so many tries and it just never
The first one was the
never
hardest.
tripped my trigger.
Jump in. Honestly, you can jump in on the Ezio
They-
part of it, or 2, and you will. Yeah, Ezio's in 2, right?
Yeah, Ezio
Yeah.
starts in
Yeah,
2.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And then they kind of backstory stuff. Like, really, the first one was honestly the hardest one I've ever played. I still to this day don't think I've beaten the game.
It's just it's fairly clunky compared to the rest. So if you start,
Yeah, you start.
past those like I did the same thing.
Now
It's really hard to go to the first one and go
skip
back
the
to it.
one in Paris. Junk. It's shit. It was the first one on the new gen. It's not good. There's bugs everywhere. But now
I still played it.
Unity.
Yeah, Unity.
Don't
Still
play
played it.
Yeah, I did too. I beat it. That was a struggle. But play like everything. Skip Unity because Black
But
Flag.
if you're
was
enthralled
good.
in the series as Josh and I are, you gotta play it.
Syndicate. Oh, me and Corey wasted many a fucking day playing Syndicate.
Yeah. We'll there's still
We'll-
lots to talk about with Assassin's Creed coming
Yeah,
up.
we'll retouch that later.
And but before we get into the show, ladies and gentlemen, we are Headset Havoc, a weekly podcast that airs every Wednesday, rain or shine. If you like what you hear, head over to patreon.com/headset havoc, where $1, just $1, grants you exclusive access to a bonus episode each and every month. You can also check us out on youtube.com/headset havoc. We'll post an audio version of each episode there until we meet some of our Patreon goals to provide, I guess, a visual aspect along with this podcast. But today's show basically is our E3 summary. I've got a list here of all the main conferences, minus the PC conference because we don't play on PC.
Hang on. Speak for yourself.
Yet.
Speak for yourself.
Yet, and one of us does play on PC.
I dabble. I don't really play.
Dabble, yeah. I couldn't, justifiably call myself say that I play on PC when I couldn't really tell you too much about it. But I do have all the most of the conferences here and some high points of those conferences. I'll kind of go through it, touch on the high spots. I'm not going to get everything. So if you're out there listening, you're like, well, why didn't you talk about blah blah blah? Well, it's because in my opinion, it wasn't one of the things that spoke to me. Nor will it the other hosts, so we wouldn't really be able to talk about it, and we just piss you off. So we're going to go on. We're going to get started.
We might piss them off regardless. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Exactly.
more than
I
likely
mean,
we're gonna
you
piss
may
somebody off
already
before
be
it's
mad.
over.
It is what it is.
We did trash one of the Assassin's Creed games, so
It was
might have been
ass.
somebody's favorite.
I'll be 100%. It was shitty.
Yeah, you said ass.
So Saturday, EA had their, I think they call it EA Play. It was on Saturday. It was, I knew what I was getting with EA. It was going to be some sports, probably some Battlefield, Star Wars, and that's pretty much what they delivered. They showed off Madden. They actually started with the drum line, and everyone was dressed in Tom Brady jerseys because
The GOAT.
yeah, the GOAT, because he's
Yeah.
their cover athlete this year. They showed off Madden in a new story mode, which is called Long Shot. That actually looked pretty cool. Have any of you guys played any of the recent Maddens?
Yeah, and it wasn't
Kinda
very
small.
fun.
I was about to say I haven't.
I have the most recent one, and
Yeah,
I
Smitty and I
got
played a little bit.
I got bored with it after about a week.
I just don't think the new the story mode is enough to hold people in because it kind of reminds me of what FIFA did last year, and that'll be brought up in a second. But with their career story, what was it called? Their little fucking story mode they had. And,
I didn't play it.
The
I don't
FIFA
know.
story mode.
yeah, with Alex Hunter, and really honestly,
Yeah.
it's not very long. It wasn't very long, and then you like everyone back to my team. Like that's the only reason that FIFA is still super popular is because of my team, and I don't feel Madden is gonna do a good enough job, even with my team. I just don't think it's gonna be. I think it'll be good, but not as good as everyone hopes it'll be.
So FIFA's story mode was called The Journey.
There
They're
you
bringing
go.
it back this year. Didn't I hear that? Was that right?
Yes, that's another thing I have listed here. They announced their career mode is The Journey. The story continues or something like that.
Okay.
It's like I'm not sure exactly how they're going to incorporate it, but it's the same guy basically.
Well,
Okay.
they told a good story last year with it because I bought it. But
It looks like it's called The Journey Hunter Returns. Apparently that was the guy's name.
yeah, it was Alex Hunter.
Yeah.
So that's the story mode. Now, did the most recent Madden have a story mode, Smitty?
No. All I did was play I guess it was the My Team or whatever, and I don't know. It just wasn't. I missed the old like career mode where you played as one player and you played the plays when you were in and stuff like that, and I don't know. I didn't really feel like it was it was definitely not worth whatever. I think I got it on sale at Best Buy, so it was like $40, but still wasn't worth that.
When was the last time they had a legit career mode? Does anyone know?
I think it was like 13 or 14.
Why'd they get rid of it? I played the shit out of them when they had them.
Well, that and like I think it was 2000 and I think it was like 2009. They had where you could do like the training. You did the
Oh yeah.
the 40-yard dash and the
Yeah, I
bench
remember
press
that.
and all that. That was really the last story mode that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
Or career mode, whatever it is.
Yeah, I remember doing having to do those trainings and things. But yeah, this one, I mean, it kind of looked cool. I mean, I guess as cool as a sports story can be, that isn't that garbage Spike Lee story from last year's 2K.
Oh
Every
my
2K
god.
story is boring after like
Perez.
Oh my god, it was no
Freak.
that one. It was
Freak.
frequency. Yeah,
It was
frequency
frequency, yeah.
vibrations. That was
This
your
year.
name.
Fuck Denver,
This
by
is-
the way. For
Uh,
Perez.
But
Man, you gotta have friends.
it was
say the
called
D-League.
Long Shot, and apparently it is like you have to battle your way. It looked like you kind of went through some developmental leagues or arena leagues. I'm not not 100% sure. Yeah, I mean it was interesting enough that I'll think about buying the game. I don't know that I will, but interesting nonetheless. They also showed off some a Battlefield 1 expansion in the name of the Czar. Looked pretty cool, but I don't play Battlefield. It was a nice little trailer.
I played it this year. I played Battlefield 1. Was super hyped about it. For me, it fell off the game itself. I know I have a buddy who plays it, and I mean, he loves it. Every DLC that comes out with the new weapons, he gets them. He grinds for them. It just, for me, the fun of Battlefield with having the 8x scopes and the big snipers and tagging someone from stupid far away. It kind of, when you're in World War One. I mean, just because it's not there. So, I mean, I played it. It should be exciting. I don't know. I hope it.
I enjoyed the beta. That was as far as I went. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's a good game. It's a classic Battlefield game with the frostbite and destructive. And if you want to play a game that you only play about 2 maps a night because things last half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Here's your
that's
game.
true.
But I mean it's not like it's a dragging 45 minutes. It's a pretty easy one. So
They also showed off their newest Need for Speed. I think it's called Need for Speed Payback. It looked pretty cool. I just don't know why these guys don't get in bed with Fast and the Furious and make a damn Need for Speed Fast and Furious game.
Oh man, it's kind of in the making, but I mean, it is the it would be easy.
is it because Paul Walker's dead?
It's easy money.
But I mean, it absolutely would be easy fucking money for both franchises. I would buy it. I would buy it. I love that. I love Fast and the Furious franchise. And I mean, they're basically ripping it off anyways. But yeah, I mean, just do it already, EA, for God's sakes.
But
At least look into it.
When do they let the Need for Speed series die though, without an Underground reboot? Or like,
oh my God, Underground was the greatest thing on PlayStation 2 ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I loved it.
Like, when do they? Okay, do they either just let it die because it's been around for so long, and it's the same game? It kind of was like it kind of had that stigma. Even though I love Assassin's Creed, it's like the same track. It's the same story mode every year. Like the story might differ a little, but like it's still like in both games. One, it's you still always gotta just kill people to kill like the main guy. This in Need for Speed, you always gotta get the best cars, fastest cars to race. Like it's like the same thing. There's no really to the point of like, oh man, that's really cool. That's a different story mode, or oh, it's like one of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, if they remastered Underground and Underground 2 for the new gen consoles, I'd buy it.
I want a complete reboot. I want a brand new game.
Ooh.
I want a reboot with Fast and the Furious.
That would be.
That's what I want.
Now
that's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah. As long as I can get that 94 Supra that Paul Walker drove, I'm in.
Another game that they was actually a new IP that they revealed is called A Way Out, and it's actually looks pretty cool. I don't think any of y'all have played the game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, but it's the same guy that directed that game, wrote that game, is doing this game as well. And Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was a great little game. It was about these two brothers. Their dad got sick, and they went on basically like a journey to like find the cure for their dad. You actually controlled. It really was a touching. It got a tear or two from.
Sounds
me,
like a jerker. Yeah.
So it really controlled. It actually controlled a little different. So each brother was a thumbstick, and you controlled both brothers at the same time. And it took a little bit of getting used to, but once you did, it was pretty fluid. Once you actually got a hold of it and understood the mechanics of it. So this guy, he focuses on these co-op games, but I mean that was kind of a co-op single player because you're controlling both characters. A Way Out is a co-op game. It has to be co-op. So you either play couch co-op or you can play online, but it's split screen. Looked really, really cool. It's basically these two guys who are escaping from prison. It's basically and you have to work together to escape from prison. I don't know how they got there. I don't know what they're doing after they get out, but it really had my interest peaked. And just the way that the guy came out and talked about it was so enthusiastic. Was really, really, it was one of my surprises of the entire E3, and really, really interested in that game whenever it comes out. One of the last games that we're going to talk about for EA is they showed off NBA Live 18, and they have a mode called The One, basically their story mode, and they said that a demo is coming in August.
Don't think it's enough. Don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I don't.
I was talking to Josh about this earlier today, and I told him, I said, there's always been things that killed the Live franchise. One is it never looked as good as 2K. Never has. And then another thing, and then I found out that it's not. You would think they'd come out gunning with it on the Frostbite server, engine, and to make it look as good as they can to match the gameplay. Because I heard the gameplay is still clunky at times, like all Lives are to a sense, but like a little better. It's still running on the Ignite engine, which is how old? So
True.
So my thing is, it's not gonna look as good. And I told him, I was like, I think I'm probably still gonna get 2K this year because just for the fact that they've been working on this game for 2 years and you can't put it on the Frostbite engine, and you've had 2 years and the game still seems clunky at times. But I've heard a lot of positives about it for people who played the pre-alpha. But I just think maybe next year, if they got one in development, if this one sounds good, because I think it's gonna, because people are pissed off enough at 2K.
Yeah, there's gonna be enough just bogus buys just to get them through.
But I think this year is gonna be the last year 2K stands as the dominant basketball game, and they're gonna have to really. They'll get my money, but next year they're gonna have to really, if Live comes out, they're gonna have to show out, because if Live's as good as it looks this year, I might be gone.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold out hope for NBA Live whatsoever. I absolutely hope it does well. But I mean, they've canceled NBA Live numerous times. They've been gone from the game for such a long time, and I think what may happen is this game comes out and people are going to play it because they're pissed off at 2K, and they're going to be like, oh shit, yeah, 2K was right. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to play the demo, of course.
100%.
See how it feels. I'm interested. I know some of the videos. I've rewatched the trailer a few times, and it does look like they're implementing an archetype system as well. And it kind of looks like there's a little more depth to it. And as far as like creating your players or whatnot, and I don't think it's locked to positions the way 2K is. I think it's more guards, wings, and bigs.
No, I think it's guards forwards, bigs.
Yeah. A wing's a forward.
Right? Yeah. That's what we're giving it anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it.
Are we just going to send it?
Just going to send it, exactly.
Send it.
So yeah, I mean, I obviously hope it does well. More competition, that's always a good thing.
No, that's why I got this little. I'm gonna play it, and because I'm gonna pre-order fucking 2K like always, but I'm gonna get it, and
you're gonna blow your money on VC.
No, I think I'm gonna go
Yeah,
Big Baller. I'm gonna go Big Baller brand.
I'm going Big Baller brand. That gold edition.
You're going Triple B.
I think I'm going Triple B. Me and the Ball Bros. I think I'm going with the 150 edition, my friend.
Because I'm gonna spend that in VC anyway.
Dude, I spent more than that in VC this year. Oh my god, I spent.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there, but we won't talk about that.
And lastly, EA gave a little teaser for BioWare's new IP, Anthem.
Anthem stole the show of the EA thing. I loved it.
So Anthem, it's a good little segue into Microsoft, because it was really, really displayed in Microsoft's conference. So I'm gonna switch to Microsoft, which I think they went on Sunday morning. They came out right out of the gate. Project Scorpio, that they've been teasing for a year now. They released the official name. It's called Xbox One X. Which who the hell knows how they're going to name their next console. Somebody I was listening to earlier today said that if you use the B as a separate initial, then Xbox One X's initials are Xbox. Which was kind of funny. But anyway, they released it. They were really gung ho on all of the the teraflops and how powerful it is.
It's expensive though.
Yeah, I'll get to that at the end, because that's where they made sure that they put it at the end, so it didn't sour anything else.
So you didn't just turn it off.
So, but it looked. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks cool. The actual way that the console looks. It looks very sleek. It's a matte black console. It's actually the smallest Xbox ever. So it's a really, I think it looks pretty good. One of the games that I knew they were absolutely going to display, because it's always one of their beautiful games that they tout how beautiful it is, was Forza Motorsport 7. But the way that they revealed this game kind of like irked me, because the thing that set PlayStation apart in the beginning of this this console generation was they came out and they said, this is about the games, give the players the games that they want. And Microsoft kind of blew it with sports, TV, Call of Duty, so, get back to the games. And Microsoft's done a great job with that messaging, going forward. But the way that they announced their first game was by revealing a new car. They revealed the new Porsche, which was featured in the game. And they got up there and they were like, everybody was really hyped about this Porsche car that they had released, or that they were, showing, debuting at E3. And like you went to the audience and everybody was just like, that's not what these fuckers are here for. They're here for fucking video games,
That
So that was
sexy though.
It was. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful fucking car, but it's odd. It's an odd way to start revealing the games, which is ultimately what's going to sell in Xbox One X.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not there for marketing like that.
Exactly. So Phil Spencer came out, said that there's going to be 40 plus games shown, 24 of which are exclusives, and I was like, okay, all right, now I'm listening. I know that none of us currently play Xbox. I had an Xbox 360, and none of my friends played, the Xbox One. So, I went, and I always preferred PlayStation, really and truly. I have kind of thought about getting an Xbox One, but like, what games am I going to play? Halo, Gears of War. I mean, that's 2 games. Doesn't warrant me buying a system for,
Only reason I'd get an Xbox One is for Forza.
There you go.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's not enough just pure exclusives on it like there were when it first came out, or any time that I've been like, oh, that's cool. I mean, like, there's some that are coming out, but it's none that I'm like uber excited for, that I'm like, I need to play this game, that are exclusive.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's and I don't want to sound like I'm being down on Xbox, because I was actually really excited for Microsoft's conference this year, because new hardware, that's always exciting, and like the way that they're going to get ahead is to, release some games, show us some new games, and I was pretty pumped about that, and so they started showing some games. Like I said, 42 games were shown, I believe 24 of which were exclusives. Metro Exodus was one of the, after Forza, of course, was one of the games that they showed that would look just awesome. I don't know if any of y'all have ever played the Metro games, but it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic type thing.
I've seen gameplay of it, never played it.
It looks great. But what I kind of had predicted before E3 was actually one of my announcement of the entire E3 was that Xbox actually got PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which is coming to Xbox One in 2017, which is a huge get for Microsoft.
I think it's a plus and a minus. I think it's a plus for the people that can't run it on a PC, but it's a minus because I have it on my PC, but it's a minus because there's something about that game on PC. Like, there's certain games, like, you guys remember a couple years back when Counter-Strike tried to make the switch over to console?
Yeah.
Yes.
With Counter-Strike Go.
CS:GO.
CS:GO 1.6 CS:GO,
Yeah.
like, and it absolutely bombed.
Yeah.
Because I get that they're gonna run it on the Xbox One X. It's supposed to be beautiful. There's something about certain games that come out on PC and then get ported in, like Ark. Ark has a huge following on PC. It did okay on console, but it didn't do great.
Ah.
Because
Yeah.
because there's something about being able to host a server and that stuff that you can is gonna be sweet. I don't know. I'll be very curious to see how well it really does. And if it does really
I
good, you expect it on PS4.
Oh yeah, well see that's one of the things that I was I was going to kind of say at the end, but whenever it was first announced the number of exclusives, I was like, okay, Microsoft, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
But a lot of these they made they were sure to make the distinction whenever the game right before the game revealed was like Xbox launch exclusive, Xbox One X launch exclusive, and then versus Xbox One exclusive. So
Mm-hmm.
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is a launch exclusive, which means it's coming to PS4. So that's which I like because, of course, I have a PS4 and I want to play it on a console. But yeah, just getting it period, I think is a huge get for Xbox. But that whole launch exclusive, how long is it going to be? Launch exclusive? I don't know. They didn't release any details to my knowledge.
And does PlayStation look to see what the numbers are? Because you know that you can get the numbers. And any average Joe can get numbers on what's selling what and how well it's selling. You think if it bombs, PS4 pull out? If they're trying to get it, you think they pull out of trying to do it?
Nah, I don't think it bombs.
I
I
wouldn't
think it's
think
already.
so.
I think it's already coming. That's why it was titled the way that it was, launch exclusive. So it's already coming. I'm pretty sure Microsoft's just paid for that launch exclusive, that launch window kind of exclusive thing.
So you think it
Uh,
like 6 months afterwards, 6 months a year
maybe
after?
I,
I'm
I I
gonna
don't
say
know.
that's maybe a year.
See, they done the year with the Tomb Raider games. They had that 1 year, which I think killed those games. By putting it on there for a year, and instead of being on the console with more players, a game like that it was to the detriment with that long such a long exclusive window. I think you may see something similar to like an Inside. I believe Inside was like it released and then like a few months later it was on PS4. Or and maybe it was vice versa. I don't know. Don't sue me one way or the other, but I think it happened one way or the other, and I think you're going to look a smaller window just because I don't think PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is going to want to be there for an entire year when they've got 60, 70 million consoles that they could also be selling on.
Mm-hmm.
Another game that they showed was State of Decay 2.
Ooh.
Another game that looks pretty
Very.
cool. I mean,
I was a fan of State of Decay.
so it's I didn't play the first one. I know what it's about. But I was kind of expecting Xbox, since they don't have a ton of exclusives for this year, that I thought that maybe they were going to give that kind of like the AAA treatment and kind of like really get in there and polish it, and like it didn't look that way. Don't get me wrong, still look good, but didn't the polish that I was kind of expecting. They also came out with updates to Minecraft. They have a 4K mode for Minecraft that is coming,
Man.
which kind of looked cool, but it's still blocks. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's still gonna be
Minecraft.
2.5D.
It's just Minecraft.
Yeah,
Yeah, how good can a game look that's blocks and shit?
yeah. It still looks like in the regular Nintendo game.
So another part of that is they announced cross-platform multiplayer. So across Windows, Xbox, I believe even Switch. So they're
I'm down with this.
cross-platform, except for PlayStation.
They give
Yep.
zero fucks. PlayStation told them
Shocker.
to F themselves.
Sony is not having it.
So
They aren't.
Sony gave a statement that Basically, it's such a bullshit answer, really and truly. That they ask him about it.
It's a PR answer.
Exactly, it's a very PR
Absolutely.
answer. So their answer was that whenever they asked their question, why aren't you also offering yourself up to the cross-platform? And their answer was that to protect the users, since we can't control the user base, we want to protect our users from other platforms' users, basically, was what it boiled down to. Which, like, you want to protect them from fucking Nintendo? It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they are like
12-year-olds are playing it.
they are like super concerned about that kind of. They have the friend codes and shit like that. It's fucking Nintendo. So,
Don't trust them.
so yeah. So I think it's just a very muddied message, and I just wish they would open it across all platforms. They also
That damn Mario is a real SOB.
That's a
So,
real messed up
it ain't
game.
Mario,
Mario, look at it though.
it's Sony that is the ones that they're the ones that aren't letting it happen. They also showed the Darwin Project, which looks like a less impressive third-person Overwatch game. They had this annoying commentator, or maybe you found him interesting. He was way too excited for my likings. Think of like Dickie V on steroids.
God.
He didn't have the
Kill me
Dickie V
now.
voice, but
Oh, okay.
that like over exaggeration and animation and that's kind of what it was.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No. Cuphead finally got a release date. Has anyone seen Cuphead and what Cuphead actually is?
I have not.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
So Cuphead looks fucking cool as hell. So it looks like all of these, like 50s and 60s cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way this game looks. It's like a platformer boss gauntlet type thing. Looks really, really cool. It's been in development for a long time. It finally got a release date of September 29th, which is of this year, which is really, really good. Fulbright's Tacoma, which is their follow-up to Gone Home, which was one of my favorite games of all time, actually. It's coming out this August 2nd. They showed Crackdown 3, finally.
Ooh,
It's
that's
getting
exciting.
Yes. Very much so.
They showed it. It's getting a 2018 release, which is a little bit of a letdown. I was kind of hoping it would, 2017. But it's whatever. I mean, I always found Crackdown interesting. I played the first one a little bit. I enjoyed it, but I don't think that Crackdown 3 is kind of like the system seller. But nonetheless, looked pretty cool. They also showed off Sea of Thieves. It was shown again. Gave it a release date, also 2018.
I'm actually fairly excited about that one, to be honest.
Is that the boat one?
I believe so.
That would make sense. See.
Yes.
No.
So yeah, you're pirates basically, and you can
Fuck you,
attack other
Smitty.
ships and go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's gonna. I don't know. It just depends. It's probably gonna be person to person. But
So I've heard that as an experience playing with your friends, it's actually it's pretty fun.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It'll be something for our group to play more so
Yeah,
than me to play.
But I don't know how long that that gameplay loop's going. How long it's going to be engaging and keep you coming back and coming back.
Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest issue probably.
Yeah. So another announcement was a pretty. I mean, really and truly, a lot of gamers bitch about this and want this, and they always ask about this. But the original Xbox library is to become backwards compatible on Xbox One as well. So now, if you own an Xbox One, you also can play all of your Xbox 360 games and all of your original Xbox games. So, I mean, it's cool to think about. But I was also reading an article last week about the actual number of people that play these backwards compatible games, and I want to say it's like 5 to 10%. I don't even think it's 10%. I think it's like 5% of gamers actually utilize this function. When if you ever go online or read any forums, they're begging for this feature. So I wish that Sony would do it, but if I think about it, would I really pull out some PS2 games and play them. I mean, I don't. Plus,
There's a couple I would.
it's. I mean, it is just fan service, and Microsoft is doing, I guess, has been doing a great job with fan service recently, because this is, Sony's selling their PS2 classics again. So you got to buy them again. So
Yeah.
Microsoft is doing this. It's showing their fan base, some goodwill, and that's cool. That's cool for Microsoft. I think that's a good thing. Very consumer friendly. But how much of a selling point it is, I don't.
So what
I
if
don't
you have like the original Xbox One when it first came out? You won't be able to do it, right?
Yeah, you will.
Oh, you
Yeah,
will?
it should be
Yeah,
good.
you can play. If you have an Xbox One X, you can play, or Xbox One, you can play all of your games all of your Xbox games from the start from the regular Xbox to Xbox One on your Xbox One.
I mean, I wouldn't use it, but it'd be
Yeah, but
kinda
a lot of
cool.
people,
You still have your
have asked.
Xbox Mini, or did you?
Nah, I don't. I got rid of that and my PS2.
Oh, bummer.
And last, they rounded out the show with the price point of the Xbox One X, which is $499.
Ooh,
What are your
That's a
thoughts on that?
it's too steep for my blood.
I'm being 100% honest with you. For the performance you're getting, I don't know if it's worth it. Because what's to say Sony just doesn't fucking decide to go? Oh, you want to play this game? $350 for the Pro.
Yeah,
And
you
I
got
get
it.
that. I get it's native 4K and it's all this and it's better supposedly. But personally, not every single game out yet is running 4K. Not every console game is running 60 frames a second. Not
Okay, well,
every game.
wouldn't you have to have a 4K TV as well?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
and
So
you
there's
gotta
another $1,000.
plus. And what about the people like me? I don't play on a TV. I play on a BenQ monitor. I mean, it's 1080p, but it's not 4K. In 4K, you can buy I think 4K computer monitors, but good luck fucking affording them.
I was gonna say, you can buy them, but can you afford them?
It's
So
either
here's.
it's
Go
either
ahead.
4K or 144 hertz, which I think is like 1260K maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what the hertz to resolution is, but
7600 probably.
is it 7600 submitting?
Right around
I think it is
7600.
7600.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right,
okay,
right
that
around
makes
it.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So my take on the price is I think it is an absolutely wonderful price for what you're getting. And what I mean by that is because the Xbox One X can do, or it does 4K at 60 frames per second. The graphics card alone, if you're building a computer to run 4K at 60 frames per second, is $400. So for what you are actually getting, it's a great price as far as the power of the console. As far as games and as far as the competition and how it's going to maneuver itself to compete with Sony, it's a terrible price. The PS4 Pro is $399, so it's a full $100 more. And are the games you're actually getting, did that justify the extra $100?
Well, I know with the PS4 Pro, not every game that's coming out is already at 60 frames a second, 1080p. Like, it's not there yet. Like, the game engine technology isn't there yet.
I'm
So to
I'm
run
gonna
it,
be honest. Go ahead.
so to run it at 4K, you're basically you have an. I mean, it's like you said, in the sense of a computer and what you're building. Yes, like it's great. But if you don't need it, because there's games getting patches to get upgrades to it within the game itself on PlayStation 4 Pro, like it. Why have it if you don't need it? Like now, if they would have came out when at the next gen, like the the PS5 and stuff's coming out, and they came out with this, when technology is going to be there, when the games are going to be there in 2 years, to run at 4K and to run at 60 frames a second on console consistently, oh yeah, $500 I think it's a great price. But currently, because Sony's still in the driver's seat,
Oh
because
yeah,
they
absolutely.
because they know that the technology isn't there yet.
Yeah, see, I mean, for as far as what you're getting, the power of the console, yeah, it's a great price.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the competition, I mean, it is a true luxury product. And I mean, as long as they treat it that way, I think they'll be fine. I'm actually surprised it was this cheap. I'd be wondering, how they actually, if they're not selling this at a loss, with the actual power that is in
I
the
wouldn't.
in the.
I would imagine they're selling at a loss. But I read a lot of things before from a lot of insider stuff that were saying that uh, they were gonna be. It was gonna be about that $500 price point.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a new thing, and it will eventually fall down, but man,
Yeah, so I mean,
it's that initial holy shit is really what's going to get you.
Well,
It's $500. I mean, that's even at 400 or 350. It's still holy
but you
shit.
but you have to have a 4K TV, and that's just I don't know. That's
yeah.
why
See,
I
right
never
now,
got the Pro.
exactly.
You don't need a 4K TV for the Pro. It doesn't run it at 4K.
Okay, but I'm saying for the Xbox One X, you need to run it at 4K and get the full power of it.
Yeah,
You
but,
need a
but you're not
4K
gonna get
TV.
but you're not gonna get the power because the games can't run it. The games aren't gonna
Bingo.
be there.
The games aren't going to be able to keep up with the actual.
Well, now some of them are. I know Forza is going to run at 60
Yep, 60 frames per second, 4K.
because
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
one of
yeah,
their
but
things. They were showing it at 60 frames per second,
But
and it
that's also
honestly, it almost made me sick watching.
but you gotta understand that Forza is Microsoft's baby.
I know
Like it's
that.
so they're gonna show it at the highest it can run. But outside of that, the new Call of Duty ain't gonna be at 4K 60 frames.
No.
So then why
Well,
See,
offer
that's
why offer a console that has 4K?
yeah.
Sony
I don't
Eventually,
know.
I feel like
I don't know
eventually
what
they
either
will
one of them done
release
it.
that. But
so, I think it'll get there, but I think Sony made them. I think Sony bluffed them to showing their hand
yeah, I believe you're right. I think you're kind of onto something there.
because
Yeah,
there was a lot.
that was my. You and I had talked about this before about how I almost wondered if Sony didn't bluff Microsoft into showing their hand. And don't get me wrong, power wise, Microsoft's Xbox One X blows the Pro out of the water as far as power, but as far as actually what you're getting as a gamer, and games, I mean, I don't. It doesn't necessarily justify the. Neither does the Pro. The Pro doesn't justify it. I mean, I'm going to get prettier graphics. I mean, really? I mean, that's not why I jump. I mean, I'm not going to just jump because of that. You come out and you tell me that I'm going to get new experiences and blah blah blah. Then I'm going to come
That's
out and
that's why everybody jumped with
take
the
my
VR.
fucking money.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see once they actually release it, how it actually does. But after Microsoft on Sunday, Bethesda went at fucking midnight on the East Coast.
Jesus, and I watched the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, so some of their highlights. I thought the presentation, by the way, of Bethesda's conference was fantastic. The way they done the whole Bethesda land, it was really really cool. But some of their announcements, Skyrim got another fucking release date because this game just won't fucking die.
Corey loves it though. Shout to Corey.
Dude, I can't.
His
I
Skyrim
can't
addiction.
not.
So
Yeah.
Skyrim on the Nintendo, you can actually have a playable Link. You can play as Link, which actually looked kind of cool, but it's fucking Skyrim for the 400th time.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there is a point where it's just. Ugh.
Didn't they show
God,
a
it's such a
Skyrim
good.
VR?
Yes, so that's Sony, and I'll get to
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
So they released Skyrim yet again. So, but they also showed Fallout 4 VR and Doom VFR, which I assume is for virtual fucking reality, knowing Doom.
Yeah, I would have
It's
ventured to
Doom.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
the Doom VR looked actually really fucking good.
So the Fallout from what I've read post E3 is the Fallout is Fallout 4. It's the entire game. It's not just some thrown cobbled together experience. It is the full length game that can be played in VR. And the Doom VR is more of you can move around or what you have full control of in Fallout 4, and I think the Doom is more of a guided kind of shooting gallery type experience. Interesting. But
Will you be? Is it interesting enough to purchase since you're a resident VR?
um, no, not really. Which
Probably
kind of
not.
bums me out. I'm a believer in VR, of course. I think it's such a cool experience. But I I'm of the line of thought that an old game's old, with a few exceptions.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back.
Skyrim.
Um, yeah, so that's gonna be this whole old game's old thing is gonna be a complete fleshed out topic on a podcast at a later date. Trust me,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I
absolutely.
really want to dive into this and kind of dissect it and talk about it. But no, it doesn't really excite me. And I actually don't even think this is for PSVR.
Oh, it's
These
just gonna be
two, I think it's
in general.
an Oculus and
Oculus?
Vive,
Yeah, I think
or
so.
maybe just Vive. But I think it's gonna be just PC. They
Okay.
also showed Dishonored, Death of the
Mm,
Outsider, which is a standalone adventure. Looked pretty cool. I played the first Dishonored. I never played the second.
I'm technically still en route to finishing that, I
Yeah, Corey,
guess.
you started it and didn't even finish it. What the hell?
Ugh, don't remind me, dude. There's so many games that came out,
Yeah, I'm actually running out of games to play.
and
Oh no, there's
I'm
never
not
enough.
even
You
close to
have to
being
run
out
out
of
of games to
things
play.
to play.
I gotta find more shit to play. Like literally, I reinstalled shit on my hard drive on PS4 that I just play different games.
I may
Um,
send you Dishonored to beat before I can beat it,
And
and you can send it back.
I'll probably reinstall the fucking Witcher 3 and finish those DLCs up.
And see, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah, okay.
Bethesda also announced The Evil Within 2 in a kick-ass trailer.
Scared the piss out of me 4 times.
Daddy
Damn near
can't
peed
wait.
myself.
Daddy cannot wait.
It looks so good.
It
And
did.
I'm not a horror type,
Same.
but it looked so good.
Yeah, that was the
That is
first horror game
my
I've ever
shit.
seen, and I was like, I might have to fucking buy this. Like, I
Dude,
don't
that
play
game made
Outlast, I
me.
don't play all of that shit, but that game looked, that trailer looked good.
That game, if you're into survival horror, that game will tickle your need.
So yeah, I heard the gameplay wise it was really good, but the story at the end was just fucking nonsense.
Uh, yeah, I was really disappointed in the ending as far as how great the game actually turned out to be.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It ended very weird. I feel like I need to play the next one. If I will or will not is yet to be seen. It just kind of left you going, "The hell just happened?"
Yeah. Uh,
Without divulging anything else. You just have to be there to see it. I guess would be.
yeah. So Bethesda closed out their little show with Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, with another awesome trailer. Showed gameplay footage, and looked just fantastic. I never beat the Wolfenstein the New Order. I played it. It felt great. Just so many different games. I'm all constantly bouncing around and never got back to it. But this made me want to get back to that game, to play it and get ready for this game. And at the end of the show, they wrapped it all up in a nice little bow and said everything that you have seen is coming this year. And that's Bethesda's kind of new trend. So it was really, a really tight show. Started late as hell, but wrapped up nicely. And then the next day, I'm just going to briefly touch on Ubisoft's press conference. They showed the Rabbids Mario crossover game. Looked very XCOM-ish.
I heard that from multiple people. They're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, it's XCOM.
Yeah, so it's like a really like baby's first XCOM type thing.
Okay.
It's for children.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, kind of introduce you to that kind of aspect. They showed off, revealed Skull and Bones, which is a new pirate game.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah,
That's the ship.
Yeah.
my takeaway is it is basically Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, just the ship, just the naval combat part of it.
That's exactly what I thought it was too.
Yeah. So it was I'm not that was my least favorite. I know some people loved it, but that was my least favorite part about Black Flag was the naval combat.
Can I do one real quick, Josh?
Absolutely.
So yeah, do what?
Can I after you get done with this one, I need to talk about one in the Ubisoft before we go any further.
So yeah, I'm gonna get there. They also showed off the new Assassin's Creed. They took a year off. This one is Assassin's Creed Origins. It's released in October 27th, I believe. Shows off Egypt, it's set in Egypt. It looked like Assassin's Creed. They took a year off, and I didn't. It looked good, but most games look good now. But I know they changed up the combat. As far as the other games were very parry. What in the hell? The other games was very parry heavy. You
this
kind
one
of
was
just
parry
sit.
heavy.
Yeah, you sit and wait. And this one is a more aggressive battle system, which
I've been
looked
wanting
cool.
for years.
Yeah, so it features the light attack with R1, the heavy attack with R2, a la Horizon.
I think this is what they needed to revive the series. I really do. Taking that year off to let that movie bomb.
Which it did.
It did. They needed it though, but it kind of gave them a break to make a better game. I feel.
I hope so. I'm a
pretty
big
God
fan
it
of
did.
it. I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I do hope that one does well. Something that actually wasn't mentioned at the conference that I thought would be and was hoping would be was Splinter Cell, not at the conference. But afterwards, the Ubisoft CEO said, made a comment. He said, and I quote, "I can't say much about that. For sure, all the Clancy games are taken care of. It's just that we have a lot on our plate at the moment, and the Division continues to be played, and Rainbow Six too. I think yesterday was even one of the highest numbers of people playing. So all of the Clancy games are coming along. We are not forgetting Splinter Cell. The last, and end quote, the last Splinter Cell was Splinter Cell Blacklist, which was released in 2013. It garnered a lot of critical acclaim, but it kind of underperformed in sales.
I like it.
And it's kind of, I was always a Splinter Cell fan. Really liked that game, and that would almost make me buy an Xbox if it was exclusive to that. I hope it's not, but if it were to be, that would almost make me buy if they could recapture the old Splinter Cell feel. Also, they showed a CGI trailer of Beyond Good and Evil 2. Man, it was so fucking weird.
Yeah,
did anybody else watch the trailer?
No, I didn't.
It was awkward.
So it was so jarring, actually, a little bit. The first Beyond Good and Evil was, it was a really good game, but it was this one, tons of F-bombs, and like I don't care, cuss all you want. I don't care. We obviously cuss, but in this trailer, it was just seemed out of place. And it's just a CGI trailer still after a decade of working on this game, or apparently not working on this game. They still just showed us a CGI trailer. So yeah, they're working on it, I guess. Who knows?
Kind of.
But it's just interesting that it was shown. And lastly, there was a new trailer for South Park: The Fractured But Whole, and we also got a release date, October 17th of 2017. We'll see if it actually hits that. I still don't believe it's going to hit it, but
shut your mouth. You shut your mouth
see.
with that devil
Hey,
talk.
I've told you numerous times.
Yeah,
don't trust it. Don't trust this.
I trust it. I trust it.
The issue being with that Matt and Trey have their hands all over this game, which is a good thing. But they're perfectionists, so they want everything to be perfect. Which again, take your fucking time.
It's been pushed back twice. It's sooner or later. You got to start. You got to get it out, or it's going to lose interest.
You'll never lose interest. It's fucking South Park.
Eh.
And in today's gaming culture, or this landscape where games are constantly pushed back, it don't make a damn to me. Like, just do it.
I just think you push it back twice, and it was so hyped because of how big the first one was. I'm just saying, you if they push it back a third time, I'm gonna say people start pulling their pre-orders.
I will not be one of them, but
I
that's
don't
whatever.
foresee that.
I
I don't
won't
foresee that
be,
happening at all. Because, like I said, take all the time you need. I know it'll be a perfect polished product whenever you release it.
Yeah, on October 17th of 2017.
We'll see. So
You really like just shitting on my Zero, don't you?
I
Crushing
just
my
want you to
dreams.
temper your expectations. I don't want to see you get hurt, Brock.
Josh, I
you're
was
too,
excited for
you're
this
too
game
important.
last
You're
year.
too important to be like that. To be hurt.
And I was excited for this game in March, and you know how crushed I was when I found out it was pushed back?
You know how I told you, don't trust it.
Oh,
Don't trust it.
I'm a trusting person. I'm trusting. It's coming out this October.
That's your fault.
Hey, easy, Mr. Yeti. I don't want to hear it from you.
Hey, I love good products.
Yeah, and it's going to be
Yeah.
a great product on October 17th.
So we wrapped up Monday night with Sony's press conference. I'm going to hit the high spots. More new trailer for Uncharted, more gameplay for Uncharted The Lost Legacy, which is a standalone experience. Hyped about it. It's more Uncharted. I love Uncharted.
Great series.
We know what we're getting.
Yes.
They showed Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds DLC, which hits later this year. I'm super pumped about that. More story DLC.
Obviously,
tickled
we're
fancy.
all uber pumped about.
Yeah.
I'm hyper. I don't care what it is. Just give me more of that fucking story, and I will just take my money.
I'll
Take
give
it
you what
all.
I have.
Take it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll kidney. What?
Yeah, I like those. I like my kidneys pretty good.
Well, see, I got a daughter, and I'm married, so
You may need them at some point.
I may have to. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my kidney, but
I'm single.
I'll do some shit, you know.
I'm some shit.
Couple of surprises was they showed Monster Hunter is actually coming to console. That's it's a big like they said, a big cult classic. Never played it. I know it has a huge following, and that was kind of a massive following, and that was kind of surprising. Not really my style, but a big announcement for Sony. Another one that was a surprise was Shadow of the Colossus remake coming to PS4.
And it's a complete total reboot from what I've heard. It's
From the
not
ground
just
up, apparently.
ground up. I've heard it's not just a reskinning. I heard it's a completely new game, which is very exciting because the first one was great.
So yeah, if they modernize the controls, because I never played it when it came out on PS2. I bought the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus collection on PS3 and played it there. And the controls were just so dated. Update those controls, I'll buy it again. They also announced they were pretty heavy on VR, which I was excited for since I've got a VR here and not a ton of games to play for it. I knew I was getting into that, but they announced Skyrim VR. You talked about that earlier. It's an old game, Let It Die, released in 2011.
No, bring it back. Keep it alive.
Fuck it. They also showed Final Fantasy 15 fishing VR game, which looks ridiculous.
You tell me you don't want a VR fishing game? I would pay.
Set in the Final Fantasy world? No.
I just want a new
Negatory.
fishing. Man, I would buy a new fishing game if they put it out for like the PC or the PS4.
Fishing games are pretty fun.
Bingo. Talk to him, Smitty.
Yeah. And when I played it on PlayStation and PlayStation 2, yeah, sure. But I haven't. Well, here I haven't played a good one. Maybe there's one out there. If there is, listeners, send it to me.
Let us know.
Tell me about
Let us
it.
know what's up.
Let me know. Put it in
Please
the
point us
comments.
in that direction.
I'll go play it. If it's good, I'll eat my shoe or something. I don't know.
Ooh,
So,
please send him a good one. I want to see this shit.
also another PSVR game, Moss. That was the one with the little bitty mouse. You were the mouse character. It looked really cool. I like the art style and direction of that. Supermassive also announced a cool looking VR game called The Impatient. It's kind of like a thriller type thing. If you didn't know, Supermassive is the same studio that done Until Dawn, which was a great little game.
I would say that's a great. Yeah.
It's a great game. They showed the new Call of Duty multiplayer
Yeah.
trailer. It looked great. It looks boots back on the ground. I'm super pumped about that.
I hope y'all don't have shit going on this fucking fall because we got a lot of shit coming out and a lot of grinding to do.
Yeah. So they showed also a new God of War trailer.
Once again, looks great.
Looks great. 2018. I'm super pumped about it. They showed Detroit Become Human. New trailer on that. I'm so intrigued by this game.
This game really, to me personally, was the only game that I was like caught off guard about, but was like, yo, I need this game now. This whole conference.
Yeah, so that's something I'm a little concerned about, is that there wasn't a release date shown during the conference. I know David Cage later said that he was going to get it. It was going to come out in 2018. Fucking doubt it, because it's David Cage, and he takes his time with his games.
Dude, you're such a Debbie Downer tonight.
Man, dude, you're really fucking up my mojo right now.
I'm just setting expectations. I'm just tempering expectations.
Yeah, we've already had.
hey.
You know where we stand on this, Smitty.
Look, if you aim for a C and get a B, boom, you're happy.
So yeah, there you go.
I guess.
I'm just being realistic with these
Why
releases.
aim for an A and then get a C and you're like, oh my god, my life's over?
Because my life was already over, Smitty. Continue.
They showed Destiny 2. It's releasing on September 6th. The PS4 gets an exclusive strike.
Don't think I'm getting it.
And they rounded out the show with a first look at Insomniac's Spider-Man gameplay. Looked fucking cool as hell.
It did look cool.
I will agree. It looked great. Cool. I was actually very intrigued in the Spider-Man game for the first time.
That was the only part of the Sony press conference that I watched. It looked really cool.
You missed some real good shit then.
There were a lot of people that were kind of complaining about all the quick time events that kind of like on screen or whatnot. Behind doors commentators, some of the ones that I've listened to, is that it's not as bad as it looked when it was being previewed or shown, because those are more like recommendations. So I hope that kind of that'll get ironed out and they'll kind of do away with those, and less of a HUD kind of, that breaks the kind of the immersion of the game. But from what I had heard, they actually put the HUD on there for their to show the game, so that people knew that it was actual gameplay because it looked so good. So I'm super excited about that. It gave a 2018 release.
Sorry guys, I was had to plug the old laptop in. We were on the way down. We were on the way out there. A little mini freak out. A little mini freak for a second.
Oh yeah, you gotta get that shit plugged in. My damn laptop battery would die.
Yeah, I've dropped the ball. That's on me.
Get an Apple.
Or just get a desktop, you fucking poor people.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna the last showcase conference, whatever you want to call it, that we're going to talk about is Nintendo.
Don't really care.
Ooh,
so you say all this, but
outside of Pokemon, I don't give a damn.
I really enjoyed this conference, and as a whole, this may have been the best conference of all of E3.
I didn't watch it.
So the highlights: Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is coming this year. I know nothing about Xenoblade Chronicles whatsoever, and I know none of you fuckers have probably even heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Heard of
it. How dare you insult me?
They announced a Kirby game.
Oh my god.
Classic.
Let it
dinosaur.
die.
Announced Kirby. Kirby's great. They actually also announced the next core Pokemon game is actually coming to the Switch.
That's what the fucking world needs.
Dude, if it's Pokemon Blue again, oh, give it to me.
So speaking of that, can I
go ahead.
cut off on off topic? So Smitty, speaking of that, did you ever play Gold or Silver?
Absolutely. At all three.
Apparently, if you get a 3DS,
Uh-huh.
there's they kind of like took, it's called like Sun Gold or something like that to that effect. But it's like they took Gold, updated it, and put like some of the newer Pokemon, like the newer graphics and shit into it.
Oh, sign me up.
That's what I said. Good luck finding a 3DS for cheap. That bit motherfucker's expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to say.
They also announced that they were working on Metroid Prime 4, which is a big deal that they finally announced that it was real.
That piques my interest just a tad.
Yeah. They also announced a new Yoshi game. They announced that Rocket League is coming to Switch, which is a big deal.
Rocket League's a great game. If anyone's
It is a
play it.
fantastic game.
It's worth the money.
Absolutely. And if you were smart, you should have got it when it was free on PlayStation Plus.
Oh yeah,
Or
fuck me,
else,
right?
Nope. Didn't do that.
Just play Disc Jam and we'll get over it.
This jam is like the poor hobo man's version.
Oh
of
my
Rocket
God.
League.
Rocket League is fantastic. It's a great get. And props to the guys over at Sonics. They've for you're knocking that out of the park with a new IP. They also announced Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC.
That's big.
That's another big thing. That game.
It's great. I've watched a lot of it.
Zelda died for me with the N64, man.
It looks great, but I mean, I want to get to it. And this last thing is just it's pulling. Nintendo is doing the right things and pulling on all of my nostalgia heartstrings. They're getting every fucking one of them. And the Super Mario Odyssey trailer that they released or that they showed, it's coming with an October 27th release date, which is a great release date.
It ain't gonna come back. It's gonna get pushed back.
Nah,
here we go again.
There you go,
Nintendo will hit
Josh.
it. Nintendo will hit it. I'm going to say that Nintendo will hit this.
Nah, it got pushed back. They're perfectionists.
They showed off a lot of the features, and it reminds me so fucking much of Mario 64 and just the style, the gameplay, and that I have so many fucking fond memories of Mario 64. Just that game just brought me back. I don't even know how to talk about Mario 64. I will, as far as when I say old games are old, I still will play Mario 64 at least once a year from start to finish.
That game's like 45 years old. Let it die.
I just fucking love that game. It is such a great game, and you're telling me that I can get more Mario 64? I'm fucking in. I'm fucking in. Like, I will be buying a Switch this holiday season for sure.
I was thinking about getting one just because I think they're dope and I can take it everywhere with me.
Yeah. So I'm like this sold me on a Switch. It really did. All these, I mean, you got your Kirby, your Pokemon, your Yoshi, Rocket League's coming, your Zelda, your Mario. I mean, that's the heavy hitters. Take
me back to '99. You know.
Exactly. So that's the nostalgia, just the nostalgia of
when I was 7.
Of the Nintendo. Well, I can't help you're a fucking baby.
Not all of us are millennials, okay?
Hey, whoa, first of all.
Hey, I was born in the 80s, cuh.
Yeah, I was born in the 90s. Mine's better than yours.
What, your fidget spinner?
Corey, Josh?
I had Rocket Power, Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, Rugrats.
As did I.
I also had all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're too
old
old
just
for it.
remember it.
I remember it too. What are you talking about? I have Angry Beavers on DVD. What you know about that, Smitty?
Oh, I know all about Angry Beavers.
I wasn't shitting in my hand during those episodes.
You can't shit in your hand.
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
How can you not shit in your hand?
I feel like if I really tried, I probably could.
Yeah.
Are you a monkey?
Absolutely do that.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be the most pleasant thing in the world.
Do you have short arms or something? I mean,
Yes.
What's the physical limitations preventing you from shitting in your own hand?
It's called my mom beating my ass.
Oh, okay. Well, that is a physical limitation.
There you go. There it is. You heard it here first, guys.
If I would have shit in my hand, my mom would have hit me.
Well,
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Uh,
So
there
one
we
of the
go.
things that, yeah, there you
Yeah.
have it.
There you go.
So typically, though, this podcast is a little different because E3's here, and I thought what a great way to to get the first podcast out there is a E3 review. Typically, the way we do things is each one of us is going to bring a topic to talk about, or three of us, it'll be gaming related of some sort, or sports. And every episode will also do, one of us will have a rogue topic that is just an off the wall topic. Can be really literally anything. And I'm going to use the first three topics is going to be all of the E3. So we've already got those out of the way, and our next segment will basically be the rogue topic. Just for you guys that are listening, that's kind of how the format's going to go. Who has the rogue topic this week?
Brock
Is
does.
it me? Is it
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
I believe it's you, bud.
All right, man. Well, it's not super rogue. It's kind of relevant to the whole sports thing. It's why do some people like with all the advertisements like sponsors in a sense on jerseys, like in like soccer. You know, you have like Qatar Airways and there's some people that because there's rumors that it's supposed to be coming to NFL and basketball and hockey, and there's some people that are dead set against it. It's more of just a question on like how do you guys feel about it, really?
Well, so to start it off, it is coming. There are a couple teams next year that are doing it in the NBA. I know soccer already has it, and so does the WNBA.
Yes.
But to my knowledge, those are the only ones currently.
I know, like
Well, I mean, you have
jerseys.
like Aussie rules soccer, Aussie rule football, things like that, but
Yeah,
the big
I
ones.
know in practice jerseys in the NFL and the NHL and stuff, and I think even the NBA they have sponsors on like every one of their jerseys. But it's the practice jerseys though.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
It doesn't bother me one bit. You know, green jacket, gold jacket. It's
who
all the
gives a
same.
shit? Who gives
Yeah.
a shit?
Just don't put it on the Masters jacket. I'll be pissy.
Yeah. Now you don't tap into that one, but I
No,
mean, I don't think it's not going to take away from the game. I'm still going to watch the game. I still like watching soccer.
Well, I think because people's argument is like, especially in hockey, there's certain teams that are original six teams, like your Montreal's, your Toronto's, your Detroit's, your Chicago's, your Boston's. It's something about there's a pride thing about because their logos and uniforms really haven't changed over the 100 years they've been a team.
Yeah,
I
I can
think
see
it's more
that.
like it's more the history thing. So I mean, there's people like that, but I mean, I feel if it's on like the side of the arm or whatever, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not like they're trying to take over the entire like chest of the jersey.
Yeah, don't overdo it. But if you want to put, one or two on like the shoulders or something,
Like on
be
top
my
of the
guess.
shoulders. Yeah, I'm fine
Yeah.
with it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Your purists are going to be the ones who more than likely will.
But they're gonna be pissy about everything though. They're gonna
Bingo.
find a reason to bitch about the uniform now. So I don't know.
Now here's my stance on the matter. Is the soccer and like the WNBA, I don't even know what fucking teams' jerseys are because it's just
nor
fucking
do I.
ads. Like
Yeah.
I have no idea what the team's logo actually is.
Plus, it's the WNBA.
Yeah, it's just that team wearing a white jersey and that team wearing a colored jersey, and that's all that I fucking know. I have no idea what the logos look like because the advertising is dominating and taking up so much real estate on the fucking jerseys. So here's my thing. Imagine growing up as a kid, I'm pretty sure every one of us probably had a Michael Jordan poster on our wall at some point in time.
Still do.
Still got one.
So imagine that Michael Jordan poster fucking tongue out and dunking on making a poster out of somebody, and there right across the front in front of his jersey, it don't say Chicago Bulls, it says AT&T. Just let that sink in for a moment. Imagine that visual.
But we never had that. Imagine the kids growing up now, and that's what they're going to remember is ads on jerseys.
I'm just a purist. Like, don't.
I mean, yeah. Don't take away from the logo, but if you want to put one or two on there, be my guest.
So
I
go
agree,
ahead.
but like, what happens if it's like, okay, because you know how there's like on a basketball jersey the NBA logo, and then whoever Adidas, they're right at the top of the.
Adidas actually has never been on there.
Are you sure? I thought they were.
Yep. Nike is the first to actually have their company logo on the. I'm pretty sure about this, that Nike will be the first to actually have their company logo on it.
Oh, I forgot they're going to Nike next year.
Yeah.
Because that's right, because Adidas, speaking of this, today just released because they're the new sponsor for the NHL for the jerseys.
Mm.
And they look alright. I'm the hockey
So
person of the group, and they're okay.
I know it's coming, really and truly. And here's another I don't want a fucking Cowboys jersey. I don't want to buy a Cowboys jersey and it have a goddamn AT&T patch on it.
It's gonna, it's gonna.
And
Fucking
I don't.
Jerry World's gonna take effect.
I mean,
Oh,
it's already AT.
absolutely.
It's AT&T Stadium. You've named every fucking thing else, and it's all about money. And like you're
Oh
making
yeah.
enough fucking money that like don't that I just think it's sacred. I just think the uniform is the sacred part of the fucking jersey. Imagine the Yankees uniform, those fucking pinstripes, the iconic pinstripes, and you got a damn Verizon logo plastered across it.
Just because it's gonna piss Corey off, they're ugly anyways.
They're
I hate you.
traditional. They're
I hate
iconic. They're
No.
It's a
sacred.
staple of American history.
No, I told Corey this a long time ago. I said I'm a Cardinals fan, but if I was outside of buying like an Ozzy jersey or something, if I was gonna buy a jersey, it'd be a number 2 Yankees jersey because I love Derek Jeter. Like he was probably the reason I got into baseball growing up.
Oh, the captain for
I'm a
sure.
captain,
El
100%.
Capitan.
I don't care what team you root for. You gotta love Derek Jeter.
Man, I don't hate him. I'm a
I mean,
Red Sox fan.
you're a Red Sox fan.
I mean, there's a lot of people that do hate him, but I mean,
But they're just assholes.
they're just Red Sox fans.
So that's my take on it. Is that I think of the uniform as is the sacred. It's the one thing that's not branded.
Sure.
Everything else is branded. So I know next year a few teams. I'm not sure what the exact number is. I know the Celtics. I'm also a Celtics fan. Is going to have the logo on it. If it's going well, it's going to be done. So there's going to be either a right way and a wrong way to do it, and I think the Celtics actually are going about it the right way, in that it's a GE is actually who's going to be their logo, and it's the same color. It matches the color scheme, as does the Sacramento Kings. It's I think theirs is King Almond or Diamond Almond. It's one of those. I think it's Diamond Almonds. And it's actually in the same color scheme as
Blue Diamonds or whatever.
Blue Diamonds. Yeah, that's right. That almond, and it's actually fairly tasteful. But now you've got a patch like the Nets, and they have a big square red patch as their advertisement on their jersey, and it's so jarring. It doesn't blend in with anything, and it's just the epitome of the wrong way to do the ads. And so yeah.
Now you say you want to be tasteful, match the color scheme, and I get it. What about? Because I know they do this in overseas basketball a lot. They have the name across the shoulders for the player. They got the number, your big block number, and then underneath it on the bottom part of the jersey, right where before it's tucked in on the waistband, it's usually the same color as the jersey, usually like white or black font, and it's boom. That's the advertisement. It's on the front, so it doesn't take away from the Celtics on the front or the Bulls or the Lakers across the chest with the number in the front, but it's on like your lower back basically.
I mean, I don't want it, but I don't want anything.
I mean, if you have to pick one though.
I don't. I guess I would pick something on the back, and just like I've always imagined my argument always is that Michael Jordan poster. If you had some fucking company, corporate America, staring you in the fucking face instead of the iconic Bulls jersey, and that's just always been such a jarring visual to me that like I just couldn't. That
You can't stomach it.
yeah, I just can't. I know it's going to come. It's going to happen eventually because it's fucking capitalism and it's money hungry these money hungry owners, and it'll make a ton of fucking money. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'm not happy about it.
And when all said and done, that is the name of the game. I mean, they're not doing it for free.
It's a business, homeboys.
Yep, it's absolutely a business.
I mean, can't halt progress, even though we try to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that that's completely progress, but that's what they're considering it as.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, we got that out there. I was curious because I know everyone has alternate opinions on it.
So to wrap up the show, we're gonna do our band of the week, song of the week. We'll always each week each one of us will kind of give you the listener a recommendation of somebody to go check out, show them some love, look up some of their songs, and kind of give them a listen. I'll go first. My song of the week actually is by Animals as Leaders, and the song is CAFO. I was listening to was on the dark side of YouTube and had just been many videos deep, and I came across a video was the 10 hardest songs to play on guitar, and this song popped up. So they're a progressive metal instrumental band, and just insane guitar work. Insane. He plays an 8-string guitar, and he makes use of every fret and every string, and it is fantastic. So go check out CAFO by Animals as Leaders.
All right.
Okay.
Brock, you gonna hit us with your?
Oh yeah. This is. You guys will soon learn that I have some. I like some of the bands that you guys listen to. Not all of them. My band. I don't even know if they're still putting out new stuff. They're an older band. It's Belle Biv DeVoe. It's Poison. If you've never heard that song, I literally have been bumping that for the past week and a half. It's a great song. It's from the 90s.
Yes.
I think that might be from like 94.
It was from before you were born.
Was it? Okay, let's go with it.
What was the name of the song again?
Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe.
That's such a catchy song.
Yeah. You'll know when you
hear it. Yeah. I'm feeling you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You smell what he's stepping in.
They're really good. Like they put out other good stuff, but that's like I would say probably their most famous song they've ever put out. But yeah, go listen to it. It's great. It'll put you back all nostalgic-y. Put on your N64 and
play Mario 64 or Star Fox.
Mario 64.
There you go.
I like Star Fox.
Yeah.
Let's go to Smitty. Let's go to the old Smitster here.
Well, I mean, I like my deathcore, man.
I was about to say, what angry devil shit do you have for us today?
Nah, Thy Art is Murder. They're coming out with a new album. It releases on August 18th on iTunes. It's called Dear Desolation. They've only got one song you can preview right now, but it's pretty heavy. It's pretty good.
It sounds very optimistic.
I'm telling you, I love the double bass and the quadruple bass that they're playing, and it's just, I don't know, it just gets me pumped up in the morning. I really like it. So go check out Thy Art is Murder.
If that doesn't get you pumped up, that deathcore, I don't know, you don't got a pulse.
Yeah.
That should get you fired up.
Well, I'm going to step it back a little bit from that, and this one is a little bit older. It's a few years old at this point. It's actually one of mine, Josh's favorite vocalists. His new band, well, I say new, his latest band, his name is Johnny Craig, and he's in a band called Slaves.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah,
I like Johnny Craig.
yeah, he is.
He's not bad.
Not bad. You shut your
That's
fucking
you
whore
shut
mouth.
your mouth right now. He is a.
I've heard better.
The album I've been listening to lately is called "Through Art We Are All Equals." It's probably it's up there. It's top 10 in my book right now. Love it. Check it out. Dig it. Don't
Praise
be
Johnny
Smitty.
Craig.
Don't be
Dig
Smitty
it.
with it.
Whoa, what?
Praise the Craig.
So
All
that's
praise-
pretty much it, folks. We are, again, Headset Havoc, a weekly podcast, airs every Wednesday, rain or shine. Again, if you like what you heard, head on over to patreon.com/headset havoc. Check out the tiers there. It grants you all kind of access and exclusive perks, tiers there to all kinds of different rewards. Check that out. You can also check us out on youtube.com/headset havoc. We'll be posting audio versions of this podcast every week. You won't get the bonus episode because that's exclusive to Patreon. You can also follow us on Twitter at Headset Havoc, and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Headset Havoc. But that's pretty much it for the show, guys. We'll see you here next week, same time. See ya.
Bye.
Peace out.